The difference between probable cause and reasonable suspicion, especially in the DUI context, but also in the Fourth Amendment, just general stops of cars, searches of cars, stops of people, is that probable cause is the standard of the level of certainty that the government, that the cops need before they can arrest you. Okay? Before you can be arrested and charged with any offense, including DUI, the police have to have what's called probable cause. Now, reasonable suspicion is also known as reasonable articulable suspicion, and that is a lower level of certainty. The police are permitted to stop you, pull you over, investigate you, based upon this lower level of certainty that's called reasonable articulable suspicion. And what that really means is, can they articulate the reason that they stopped you or that they're dealing with you? Okay? It's got to be something based on more than a mere hunch. It's got to be something more than he looked strange, right? Which sometimes you'll see that in police reports. Such and such appeared strange. They'll put all sorts of things in there to try to articulate something that reaches the level of an articulable suspicion. But it's got to be the line between what's called harassing or arbitrary conduct by police is articulable suspicion. Right? I could say the reason I stopped him is because of X, Y, Z. And below that, any police stopping the person is just considered harassing and arbitrary, right? So if they can articulate it and it's something beyond a mere hunch, then that's articulable suspicion, whereas probable cause is more than that, requires that in order to go into an arrest. So in DUI cases, before the government has asked you to provide a state-administered blood or breath sample, they have to have arrested you for DUI first. And so that means they have to have probable cause that you are driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If they don't have probable cause before you've been arrested for DUI and before you've been read the implied consent notice asking for your blood, breath, or urine, then that blood, breath, or urine will be subject to suppression if a lawyer files that motion on your behalf and a court agrees. In other words, that's a necessary precondition to the government arresting you, that they have probable cause for a DUI, and that's how probable cause is relevant in a DUI investigation. Now, articulable suspicion is relevant because that's all the government needs in order to pull you over, to start their investigation of you. They need articulable suspicion to stop your car, to question you, to ask you to come over and do tests with them, to participate in so-called standardized field sobriety tests. All they need are an articulable suspicion. Usually they say, the person smelled of alcohol, his face was red, flushed, he had bloodshot eyes or watery eyes. They'll say that you were slurring your speech or you were unsteady on your feet. Those are all things they point to as part of their articulable suspicion to conduct your DUI investigation, which they're hoping leads to an arrest for DUI based upon probable cause, and then they go after your blood, breath, or urine through the implied consent.